morning, friends. 2:15 in the morning in Vegas. I'm setting my alarm to get up and watch TyLoo versus Team Spirit, apparently, which is something I never thought I would do in all of my life. But that's where we are. That's the major. That's the power of the major. So it'll be a slow start, very slow start to the day's proceedings. But I fully expect to see my beloved TyLoo beat Team Spirit here, and they've got a very good opportunity here on Overpass, one of TyLoo's best maps. Notoriously good for Bentet. If you look at a lot of his best performances in terms of just statistics, production, whatever term you want to use, Bentet is notorious for dropping 30s and high 20s on this map. Not off to a terrible start with 4 kills, so definitely something to keep an eye on there. And as is par for the course for this alternate stream, there will be guests dropping in. Henry tells me he'll swing by for the second series. He's got his alarm set. Vince will be around. I did talk to Steele. He's still in Germany, so probably won't see Steele today. We had Hex on yesterday, so, you know. Anybody who wants to swing by, any, you know, luminaries or personalities that aren't at the major, more than welcome to drop by my Discord, and we'll do basically a DVD commentary over the games. Did message Mo. No sign of Mo. I'd like to get Mo on here. I haven't talked to Mo in about a month or two. But we'll wait and see. So, anyway, feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'm going to be just eating breakfast, which consists of a Subway meal, because obviously at 1 a.m. it's very hard to get an actual breakfast. But I do have a cup of coffee, so we'll be doing good. What's my favorite breakfast? I mean, you can't go wrong with a full English, can you? And yeah, you'll have noticed, I'd say accurate or X-accurate. We really need to get to the bottom of how to say that, just as a rule. I say accurate, but whatever. Yeah, he's pretty good with his scout. He's had an amazing tournament so far. Probably been TyLoo's standout player. But, you know, I think somebody's had some great rounds, including the worst clutch of all time against Renegades. I was looking at the Renegades statistics, actually. There was a post about it on Reddit talking about just how wretched they've been and how they failed to make it through to the final 16 at 7 attempts. And at Majors, they've got a win rate of 23%. So I think that kind of like just backs up, you know, what I've been saying about probably is the end of the road for the Renegades team. I think after this, that, you know, that's more than enough chances. And I think, you know, the organization's obviously serious about wanting to do this regional NA identity thing. So yeah, I mean, but here's the thing I would say. Like, I didn't expect Renegades. I knew Renegades were bad, but I didn't expect them to be as bad as they were at this major. I mean, they were really bad. Like, you see Ryu come in. I got a lot of respect for Ryu. Obviously, he's been on the show a lot. You know, really nice guy. Good friend. Very smart. I really rate him highly as a coach. I just guess, you know, you can only work with so much, can't you? If I gave you a bunch of Lego and said, fucking, build me a house that's going to fucking last forever, you're probably going to struggle with it. And the Renegades players are very much the Lego bricks for him, unfortunately. So I do feel really sorry. I think him and Nifty will be the core of a new team that's going to form. It'll be NA-centric, I imagine. And I don't think we'll see the Australian players at Tier 1 for some time, unless some new organisation that's a little bit green just wants to pick them up on the basis that they're kind of established international names. But, yeah, I think their future lies very much in going back to Australia and trying to rebuild. And it's a shame, but that's the reality of it. No sentimentality when it comes to the major, when it comes to winning games, you know. Yeah, I mean, look, I think a lot of people... You see Renegades, and you see how many times that Renegades have been at majors, but you've got to remember, it's just so deceptive. They come through the Asian qualifier, which is the weakest region, and they don't even necessarily do that clean. So yeah, this is pretty much standard TyLoo stuff that's going on your screens right now. I mean... You will find TyLoo's CT setup on Overpass very hard to break down. If you remember, I can't remember what event it was. I want to say Star Ladder, but TyLoo actually beat Navi, I think, on this map. So on the very first day of the tournament. So TyLoo, like, Overpass is definitely a map you want to try and take away from them. I'd say it kind of goes Overpass and Inferno with their solids, and people have been giving TyLoo these maps. Obviously, it's a best of 3 today, so still a chance that Spirit can come back and win, but I just think TyLoo are going to have a little bit too much in the tank for them. And thanks very much for that sub there, David Von Geffert. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. You know, basically, if you look at their tools, they've got so much to you know, kind of succeed. You think about how somebody plays. You know, he likes to play in those advanced kind of white walls positions. He's a very sneaky player, very good awareness, plays off sound very well. You got obviously Bentet, who has had a very poor major by his high standards so far, but you know, I expect to see him step up today. He's probably been itching for an Overpass game, does very well. And of course, Excurate, who is got to be one of the finds of you know, 2017. I think it was, yeah, it was the end of 2017 when he joined. Just an amazing breakout season for him. So a little bit more aggressive here from Team Spirit. The CZs still getting work done. How many patches later? Oh, and thank you very much, Deranged Toad and Rabzow, for your subs. I really appreciate it. Will Thorin be joining today? I've extended the invitation. Like I say, he's really sick at the moment. A lot of people got flu somehow over the course of this weekend. Must be a bug going around in Europe. But yeah, Duncan says he's feeling a little bit under the weather, so he might not join until next week, which will be fine because obviously we won't see Henry next week because he'll actually be commentating on the games. So, and thank you very much for the sub there, Happy Nigel. 8 months in a row, really appreciate it. Thoughts on Space Soldiers? I mean, listen, real talk, Space Soldiers, yes, they had to use basically the equivalent of me at this event, you know, a man in their mid to late 30s who doesn't play the game and has, you know, never played to a, like, professional standard. That's an incredible handicap because you are essentially 4v5. If you want to be generous, 4.5v5. But the reality is, you know, they have had all these like visa issues and stuff. I think even if they had their full team, it wouldn't have been cut and dry that they would have got through. I mean, I think Space Soldiers is still one player short of actually being a true top tier team, in my opinion. Like, they've got some unbelievable talent, especially, you know, you look at Xantares. But yeah, I don't know. I'm never really sold on them as being like a true tier 1 side. So, will I ever do another edition of stream? Yeah, as soon as the major's over, I'm going to get back to recording more audio content. I've just been really busy with work. I say that when the major's over. When the major's over, I've got an event at work, and then after that, I got another event to plan for next month. So lots to do, but I'll find the time. Ah, yes, you see, the classic question, why don't they just add Woxic? Would be a natural fit, right? Well, apparently, there's just no way. Woxic doesn't get on with the other Turkish players, and there's some beef there that is ingrained that nobody knows about. Okay, so you can see, just to relate to the game here, Team Spirit have realized now that you can certainly catch TyLoo off guard if you play fast. One of TyLoo's weaknesses, I'd say, is like if they give up a couple of frags on the site, their rotates are very sloppy. It's very easy to kind of catch them out and shut off parts of the map. So this is a good move by Team Spirit to kind of play a bit more aggressive and in their face, kind of start rushing bomb sites a bit more brutally, and they'll definitely get some rounds on the board doing that. Will the beef disappear if the team is desperate enough? I don't know, because this is a beef that this is a beef that, I mean, we're not too sure about the reasons why, but it doesn't feel like some French thing. Like the French beef was always like, I don't like his play style, and I don't like his philosophy. It was always like an intellectual kind of. This feels like a personal thing, that something's gone on in the Turkish scene, and somebody out there will probably know the specific details. I don't. I don't really concern myself with that stuff, but yeah, definitely there's something there that feels unfixable. What is up at the moment with the Space Soldiers org? Didn't the players want to switch org? There was something there, I think, contract negotiations or money. It seemed to be. There was that period of time where they all took their Space Soldiers logos down, and that was over the organization wanted to kick a player. I always forget which one. I always think Calix, but I think it might be the other guy. Thanks for the cheers there, Milky Movies. God, that's a worrying name. And thanks for the Twitch Prime there. 15 months, Matthew Gurr. Thank you very much. So anyway, yeah, there was definitely something there, but it's resolved now. But I think it was the management overstepping and wanting to remove a player, and basically the player said no to that. And that might have been over like a money dispute. Yeah, Nin, I think it was. That was it. Or Engine. Sorry. I'm only on my first cup of coffee, so it's going to take me a while to hit full speed. So that utility got fucking work done. See, this is much better now. Good read by TyLoo. Now they just got to not be stupid here. I mean, again, that's like giving up 2 kills quite sillily when you've already got the bomb down on the ramp. I mean, that's classic TyLoo. They never win rounds cleanly. Like, they're desperate to give this round away. So this is like a 1v5, I think. I mean, just keep taking all these stupid duels. Why don't you? Holy fucking shit, that was really fucking close to being one of the worst 1v5s. Like, holy moly. Yeah, TyLoo hold out. Oh, sorry, the Mighty Chaos. Thanks very much for 17 months, brother. I apologize for missing that. As I said, I got one face in my coffee, one face in a cook. Well, one face in a cookie. How many faces have I got? They do say I am two-faced, so maybe. Babe, I got my snout in the coffee, my fucking mouth wrapped around the cookie, and my eyes on the game. When's the next bad numbers? Probably next week. As I said, we couldn't really do one this week. Duncan was sick. Sam was traveling. Like, it was like just a nightmare. But as always, we'll make up to it. Have I recovered from the unrelenting shit show that was North? Actually not, no. Every time I watch North, I feel like, you know, I can feel the poison just in my body, like just, you know, seeping through my bloodstream. Absolutely awful to watch. Thanks very much for the cheers there, Toby Bassett 500. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like, I think North have just looked absolutely awful. And just very lucky to be there. Like, Rogue should have took them. And, yeah, you too, Dougal124, thank you. And Mighty Max CSGO, subbing with Twitch Prime, but I know that's a resub. I've seen you by the channel before. And you, the OG Ryan, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, listen. Rogue just lacked that killer instinct. You saw it against Astralis. You saw it against North. But, like, Rogue can be really proud. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. I think it's absurd when you start talking about, oh, they had a really good performance against this team, and then they don't win. And then they have another good performance, and they don't win. They have another good performance, and they don't win. Teams like that don't necessarily deserve to... Ooh. Oh. Banged. Good old somebody. Had a great tournament so far as well. You know, they deserve respect, but I mean, you can only say so much about a team that plays well but never wins, right? I don't think Rogue in that ballpark yet. I mean, I think you can see the clear improvement. I thought Cadian had a real good fucking tournament. I thought Sick did. I thought Vice had his moments. So you can see there's like a real good core of a team forming there, and they just lacked killer instinct. They should have beat Astralis, which is a hell of a thing to say, and they should have put North to bed as well. So, definitely come on leaps and bounds. Definitely want to watch coming away from this, provided they don't all get super sad and start dwelling on what could have been. You know, nice pick there. Oh, and is Prius here? Yo, it's your boy DJ Cunts. Good to see you, buddy. Thought you were doing observing at this major. Not get you involved. What the fuck? What are you doing at home? That's ridiculous. Do you wanna jump on Discord? I can send you a link if you want, buddy. Oh, you're about to sleep? All right, man. Well, thanks for dropping by the stream. If you're around later in the day, hit me up. We'll drag you into the channel, man. And yeah, that is absurd. I didn't realize Sliggy did every game. Holy shit, face it. Come on, man. Like, Prius will be able to tell you guys. Like, observing is fucking hard, man. The concentration levels that you've got to have to sort of focus on, like, it's all sorts of extreme moving parts for long periods of time. And when we say long periods of time, we're talking, yeah, you know, 12. Have we had a day that's been less than 12 hours yet? I don't think so. So, like, Sliggy must be fucking struggling. Yeah, that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Sliggy's a real cool guy too. I know him going back to Counter-Strike Source. We didn't used to like each other right at the start, but we became
$2 for
friends.
A cheeseburger THX. P.S. Find it odd that there aren't more esports schools and academies.
Thank you very much for the donation, A's and Plays Games. The problem you've got at the moment is, like, they're trying to do a big push on collegiate esports right now, and I guess if we get that kind of structure, like mainstream American sports with scholarships, which are already in place, you know, for esports teams and collegiate leagues, that'll probably be the academies of the future. That'll be where people go to mine talent and that sort of thing. So I guess we're kind of getting there. It's just, it's very hard for teams to have academy sides because you create an integrity issue and you create a financial issue. So it's like it's pretty hard. Yeah, Prius, dude, I feel bad for the guy too. I mean, we all, and the thing is as well, Simeon, you're saying it's 4 or 5 days in a row with of 12 hours, but the observers have to come in with the crew. Observers don't come in with the talents. Observers come in with the crew. They come in with the production team, and they're there before the talent. So Sliggy's probably getting there 2 hours before the talent does. And he's probably there afterwards to talk about, you know, you have these little debriefs when you're in production. Everybody talking to each other and saying, you know, fucking, here's what we're going to do better tomorrow. Like, you got to get that guy some fucking relief. It's insane. Like at E-League, we had 2 observers at all times, and we used to send the observers home with the talent. That was how we used to do things. I can answer this question if you want. And E-League was guilty of this too in Season 1. So here's why you don't hire 2 and 3 observers. Because observers have realized how important they are. Good observing is an art form. Good observing is like being an award-winning cameraman. You know, if you don't observe the game correctly, it doesn't matter how good the commentary is. It doesn't matter how good the production value is. It doesn't matter how many fucking little 3D zoom effects you have in the game if you miss all the kills. Right? So observers have started to realize their worth, and observers have started to ask for money, which I think is perfectly acceptable. That's in line with basically what talent would get. And so now organizations, when they look to cheap out and look to save money when they're running a tournament, it's the observers that get cheaped out on. It's the observers that get fucked. They say, why would we take a team of 4 good observers? Basically, we're paying for like another commentary team. So what we'll do is we'll get 1, we'll get 2. You know, and I've seen stuff where like they get 2 observers, but they make them share a hotel room, which is something you just wouldn't do for talent, and you know, stupid things like this. So observers basically feel the pinch, you know. And as I said, you know, we were even guilty of that a little bit at E-League. You know, we had to basically say, well, I mean, say I basically said, like, we cannot cheap out, you know, because we didn't include, initially in Season 1, you know, Prius and Heather didn't get, you know, they weren't included, like, they were part of the talent. And I was like, guys, this is, like, these are our friends. It's a big family. You can't exclude them. So, you know, I was making sure they were coming home in the chauffeur-driven cars that we got to and from the venue. I made sure that they got swag bags. And importantly, I made sure that, you know, they were given a respectable rate. And it probably still wasn't in line with what they deserved, honestly. But I only had so much pull. Yeah, and basically, there you go. Jason Baker, another hero. Jason Baker told like the directors that, you know, don't shout or get heated or with the observers, because there is a handful of good observers in Counter-Strike, and if you piss them off, our observing will be shit. So, but yeah, there was no way I could, in good conscience, sort of know that we were like shorting, you know, people like Heather, people like Prius, you know, masters of their craft, and you know, putting that money elsewhere where it's not as important, right? Like, it starts with the observers. Like, I even wanted to bring Steel into Observer E-League. just to take a little bit of the load off from Prius and Heather at one point. But again, they didn't want to go for that. So, well, Steele's an amazing observer. Steele was one of the original, first, I would say full-time observers that we had. You want to talk about good observers that you probably don't know started out as observers. Steele did some of the early majors and was considered like one of the proto-observers. He was really, really good. So good, in fact, that I think he talked to Blizzard about how to help with Overwatch spectating. And then there was Yanko was an observer and a really good observer as well. And then we fortunately got the new wave with Heather and Prius and guys like this. And Sliggy, of course, I can't leave out, who are all great. Yep, Steele the players. Steele, Josh Nissan from Canada, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was one of the guys that, was very, how should we say, smart and intuitive in his use of how to use X-ray to build tension, and he very quickly realized, because Josh is a super intelligent guy and is from a drama background, so he understands media, he understands cinema, he understands narrative, he understands theatrics, and very quickly he realized, actually we can. What we can do is we can use these tools in the game to kind of build tension. Prior to that, people pretty much had X-ray on all the time, like I do. I use auto director and just X-ray all the time. But what Josh used to do was we can take X-ray off for large periods of time and bring X-ray on to build tension. And yeah, that was that was in 2014, I want to say. So it's still pretty early in the game's development. Oh, well, that's the meat grinder. Little score boost for SDY. Yeah, this is the Sliggy viewpoint, exactly, yeah. I'm not using actual auto director, I'm using the base director. But when I stream other games, I just put auto director on. I haven't got the wherewithal to, be moving and swapping cameras around and talk and do everything else. Speaking of Steel, do I have any thoughts on Ghost? I mean, you can give Josh 4 players and he will always improve them. He is such a good in-game leader, such a good coach, has such a high-level understanding of the game. I can't think of a team he's ever been the in-game leader for where he has taken them backwards. Always forwards. And remember when, Swag, and those didn't want to play with Steel anymore, and they all broke up, and everyone was going, "Oh, here we go, shit, step down. Look, you're getting Kusta, you're getting Wardell. This is really bad." Well, they're going to international events and they're getting upset, which I don't think would have happened with the previous iteration of the team Steel was playing in. So. I think out of all the players that probably got banned, including Swag, I think the one that would have been on the most high-profile team would have been Steel. Yeah, I do. Drinking coffee, my friend. I'm going to go get a refill in just a moment. Want to see this round, though. Yeah, and I'm streaming in NA. Yeah, I live in NA, so I'll always be streaming from NA. But yeah, Steel would have been Steel would have been, yeah, one of the top NA orgs. He would have been a Cloud9 or something like that, you know, if he'd not been permanently banned. So yeah, it's just awful, really. Like, so many regrets, my friends. So many regrets. Still to this day, I think, why is it I have to regret? Like, why is it I had to balance my love of the community and my
40
love
minutes in and no pauses.
Oh, hello.
This is not my major.
Yeah, not my major, no positive. You know, why did I have to balance my love of the community, my love of the game, against the love of my friends, and you know, the love of talent? You know, why was I ever put in that position? Why couldn't it have just been a 2-year ban or something, and we all just get on with it? You know, like, said it a million times, and I'll say it again. Thanks for the sub, Line XFL. If you had told me up front that I was pretty much going to get all these guys banned for life and end the career of a young promising player and a personal friend and guys that I knew in the scene and had known for years, and I was literally going to take everything away from them by doing that, you know, you've definitely paused for thought, right? Like, you know, I have days where I think, no, I absolutely must do the right thing, protect the integrity of the game, stop the match fixes, the game must come before everything. But then other times you just think, like, you know, I watched that first year when Josh was banned, and I watched him visibly breaking down on his stream. And people forget he got banned from Twitch for a little while because he was doing all these weird stunts. And he was, you know, he was suffering from clinical depression, and I'd done that to him. I'd done that to my friend, a guy that, you know, like I say, had lived at my house. You know, we lived together for a time when Josh was homeless, and I did that. You know, there's no getting away from it. Like, I did, and it just fucking sucks. I was just watching him in pain, and I was like, well, now I've got to go and try and get Valve to do what I consider to be the right thing, which is to give these guys a way back. And, yeah, just fucking sucks. Just fucking sucks. So, I, you know, if you ask me what the right thing was, I think I was in an awful position. I don't think there was a right thing. I think the right thing was to never have found out about it. That would have been the best outcome, to just not know. But I don't know. I was in, like, my towering Jesus fucking frenzy. I wanted to save Counter-Strike from itself. I still do, you know. I want to save esports from itself. So, yeah, and I suppose, you know, you're right. I did tell them. I did tell them to own up to it, and if they'd owned up to it, oh, this is doable now. Oh, don't take the repeat. No. If they, I still believe if they had just confessed when it was first clear what they'd done, and Valve didn't get involved, they would have just got banned from CEVO. And I told them that, and I begged them. I mean, I begged them. I said, guys, please just confess to it. I must have called Steel 3 times, saying to him, like, dude, please, like, don't do this to yourself. Like, just fucking, just own up to it. And, you know, obviously, fucking, he did lie to my face. I mean, you know, which he had to, right? He couldn't just admit it. Thanks for the sub there, Miss Alcoholic. Great name, by the way, as well. But yeah, I just wish he took the easy way out. You know, just owned up, took the permanent ban from CEVO, who no one gives a fuck about, and we all just get on with it. You know, and he could have been like Solo in Dota 2, playing at majors. You know, even though he was ostensibly guilty. You know. Who do I enjoy working together with the most on the desks? You know, all the guys. Like, I don't really have any fucking mad favorites. Like, Moses is always great. Like, I love I consider Moses a friend. You know, he's not just a co-worker. Moses is a friend. You know, Jason, you know, comes to my fucking house and, you know, he stayed over. I made him watch The Wicker Man when we were fucking rat-arsed last time we were drinking. I was like, do you want to watch a British horror musical? And Jason was like, no, I can think of nothing worse right now. But I made him sit up while he was drunk as fuck and watch The Wicker Man. And, yeah. But, yeah, Jason's a good friend. And, you know, welcome in my house anytime. Yeah, it is. It's a British horror musical. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Here's Bentet. I mean, these are the two you want in the clutch situation. Bentet and Excurate. So as long as Bentet just holds his nerve here and doesn't go for the info peaks, there you go. It's given away now. He's going to go for Flash. He needs to watch Heaven there. Sorry. Excurate wins these. Yeah, hold your nerve there. That's an obvious fake. Brilliant. Absolutely TyLoo's player of the tournament by a million miles. Like, what a fucking sick four, man. Unreal. So. Would you ever see him in a show match? Nah, it would it would be silly of me and Thorin to actually play. Like, we only were doing it for Anders because we wanted to help Anders build up his stream. Same way, you know, I'll jump on Vince's stream. You know, like, because I want those guys to succeed too. Because, again, they're my friends, right? You know, I've known them a long time. So if I can lend a little bit and my audience will go to their stream and help get their followers up, then obviously we do it. So me and Duncan didn't mind making fools of ourselves to basically help Anders grow. Oh, is Natu here as well? Awesome. Obviously, he's out there with Ents at the moment at DreamHack Montreal. So, but yeah, I wouldn't play now because it just wouldn't be worth it. I already get death threats for really mundane things. So what would be the point of like playing a game so I can get, haha, you are shit at Counter-Strike, mate. If I see you, I'll kill you. Shit cunt. You shouldn't have a job, haha. You know, that's the key thing. Like, you know, people don't understand. I'm a fucking man in my mid to late 30s, you know, with a gammy eye and a fucked up left hand who I've had fingers reattached. I'm never going to be a top player. I don't want to be a top player. I've got no pretensions about it. But it doesn't mean I don't understand the game. It doesn't mean I can't watch the game and figure shit out. But they say that, you know, 16-year-old retards who think you've got to be global elite to have an opinion worth listening to. So, do I think TyLoo will be bad if Excure and Benta leave the team? I think it'd be absolutely fucked, yes. I think they'd be absolutely fucked. Good stuff, Natu. Well, listen, I got your boys to win DreamHack Montreal. I miss you very much, brother. You're a fucking legend. I love what you've been doing with the finish, guys. I'm super happy for you all. It's a shame you're not at this major because I think you would have definitely got out of this stage. But yeah, you guys are on the right path. Like, I think you're gonna win DreamHack Montreal, and then the sky's gonna be the limit at the second half of the year, brother. So much love to you. Thank you very much, King George TV. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Did I miss a raid? I don't have raids pop up. Sorry. Did I miss a raid? Is someone raiding me? Thank you very much for the raid, whoever is raiding me. I appreciate it, really. But yeah, I literally think Ents are going to be... well, thank you, King George. Thank you. I didn't even know you were raiding me. Thank you, seriously. It's very kind. Really, really nice of you. So yeah, I think Ents have a real fucking chance, man. Like, I know Thorin's not as on board with Ents as I am. But I think the Finns are going to be a big team to watch. They just need that first tournament win just to accelerate it. Sergey is so fucking good. Like, he is just going to be a big star, like, for real. So fingers being reattached. I've told this story a bunch, Felix. I'll wait until the end of the game and I'll tell it again for those who haven't heard it. But yeah, I had my fingers chopped off. I remember last time I was out drinking with Arlu at E-League. I had to. He was wasted and I was wasted, and we'd been fucking blazing it as well. And we were like in a fucking hotel, and me and him were both drinking, and I was trying to explain to him what a Welsh person was, and he like, it was really really funny. He was like, kept going, so you are like English but primitive? I'm like, no, it's not primitive, mate. It's like it's rural, you know. We got more farmlands, more agriculture. We generally tend to be big. I'm like, you must have people like this in fucking Scandinavia, you know. You must have. he couldn't wrap his head around it, you know. I had to basically explain that there's a region in Denmark called Jutland. I probably said it wrong. I always get corrected with this. But basically, it's where all the real big, strong farmers, you know, they live off the land. It's where those guys live. Yeah, Jutland. There you go. Jutland. And, yeah, there it is. I always get corrected, so my bad. And, yeah, basically, I was like, Wales is like that. And he was like, see. So, yes, you are primitive. Yeah, fucking Arlu's a fucking boss, dude. Like, yes, Jotunheim. Yeah, I know. I saw it in the latest God of War, so. I don't think Sergey was in FPL. I think Sergey was just a talent that was just, like, discovered in Finland. I mean, what you got to remember is, as well, like, Nartu's really good at sort of discovering, I mean, and always has been, discovering, like, good Finnish players, you know, kind of developing them. Nartu's, like, an older guy who's had, like, you know, I don't want to diminish it and say like a tough life, but you know, he definitely had a lot of you know, experiences when he was younger that would have like broken a lot of people and made them not able to sort of, you know, function as well as he does. And he obviously has a big family, lots of kids. We always joke about that. Like, Nartu is the most fertile man in Finland. Like, he is the god of fertility. It's unreal. But yeah, he's just really good at discovering talent, developing talent, helping people overcome, like, you know, mental blocks and that kind of thing. You know, he was the guy. He was the guy who was going to give, like, you know, Joel Z his first attempt before, you know, he realized that Joel Z had this, like, really bad social anxiety. Like, it was Nartu who made me. I thought, like, Joel Z was, like, bullshit like everyone else. I thought Joel Z was a cheater, you know. Because he wouldn't go to LAN and he would drop like 40, 50 frags in every game he played. And Natu basically said, like, no, listen, I reached out to this kid. We had him in a team. He's got like crippling social anxiety and he's like not very well socialized. You know, like when he was living in the team house, he was just, you know, he didn't have any social skills, you know. So Natu tried to develop that talent, but it just didn't work out, you know. Why is the stream running in slow motion? Is it? Is the stream in slow motion, guys? Is that real? No, okay, good. Good to know. Thanks for the nose. And thank you to King George, my liege. Look at my settings. But anyway, I like this as well. I like TyLoo here, going for this like double, double CZ Deagles round back to back. I don't know much about the finances of Ensa, but I'm told that it's not like they need to worry about money. And from what I can tell, they're a pretty good kind of, they're a well-managed organization. The guys get what they want out of it. That they're playing at home, they're playing in Finland, the managers are Finnish, everything. So I don't know if they would get picked up by a bigger team. If they did, obviously I imagine, there'd be no hard feelings about it, right? But I think Ents was about putting, Finnish Counter-Strike on the map and everything being Finnish, right? Because Finland has such an amazing history in the game. If you go right the way back to like 1 point fucking whatever, it was essential. I think that we did have a Finnish lineup that was capable of competing internationally. Would have been a travesty otherwise. All right, it's a good bomb plant. So here we go. This should be the round 16-12. What do I think of Ents if Sunny was on the team? I can't think of a player Sunny would naturally replace on that team. I don't think they need Sunny. I think, like I say, and I think Sunny's a great player. That's not to be disrespectful to Sunny. I just think, and there's nothing wrong with the Ents roster. It's just time and effort. They've got the 5 players. They're a time and effort project,
Hey, been watching you for more than 3 years now and I finally feel comfy giving at least something back now. You are doing amazing job, buddy.
Thank you very much for the donation line, XFL. I really appreciate it. Obviously, you never have to give back. I do this as a hobby. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because it's nice to have an audience. So thank you very much for your continued support. That's more than enough for me. That was bad timing. It would have been obviously amazing if he got the pick there, but just having the chip damage there is probably enough, I think, because if you look at the utility they got here with the mollies, it's going to be very easy to smoke these people out. We'll probably see a molly kill coming in, or maybe a spam kill. Lots of utility for Team Spirit as well, obviously, but here we go. Looks like they're getting set up. So Dima's got lots to do here. Right, Dima's going to get sandwiched. If they're smart, they'll go fast here. Right, there's one down. Trade. And there's the molly. And there's the molly kill, so... As predicted. Yep, this is the round. GG. Dav cost super low as well. Yeah. Goodbye. And there it is, 16-12. That's why you don't fuck with TyLoo on Overpass, friends. They're really, really good. It's easily their best map. I think they're decent. Thank you very much there for the sub. Peter Salter. Yeah, you can get drops here if you watch this game, guys. All you need to do to sync up your Steam account is just type exclamation mark drop, I think it is, in chat, and you'll be able to get some incredible skins. In fact, I think if you watch my stream, it's every drop's a Dragon Law. Are they good? Are they good? I've never heard of them. I never heard of them before, but yeah, I think you get Dragon Laws. So. That. Right, I'm gonna call Vince. He is crying. What? What do you mean Vince is crying? What are you talking about? What's going on? Oh, it's a meme? All right, okay. Didn't even know he was awake yet. See how I didn't get. Well, how's that a meme? I'll tell you the thing story in a moment. Let me go get a top up of coffee, and I'm gonna just start scanning. Oh, actually, wait there. I keep forgetting. Production value, guys. Look at this. The we are working on it major. So right, I'll be right back. Just 2 minutes while I get a refill.